Hello everybody, this is Havoc, and welcome back to Prehistoric Kingdom with our Prehistoric Preserve. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Hopefully we have a great episode for you to check out. I'm very much looking forward to doing the things we're going to do today. But first, I want to, apologize would be the word. My knowledge of how the animal kingdom operates has been widened, I guess you could say. I don't know much about how that structure works. I'm not a scientist. I don't dig into this information very deeply because, well, not that it's not important to me, but I just haven't found a reason. It's not an interest of mine. So, my entire time, I thought that the species name was much larger than it actually is. I.e., if we go over to like our hatchery. For instance, what's a good example of having multiple? Let's go with the Camarasaurus, for instance. So, I thought the species name was Camarasaurus. So you can imagine my frustration when I see species repetition across multiple things like our Psittacosaurus or our Coelophysis. And I found out that species repetition, which to me meant, well, I can only have these creatures, all three of these creatures, in one single space, and that's not the case. Rather, your Camarasaurus is, I believe, a genus, which is a step above. It's more encompassing, as it were. With your Lentis, your Grandis, and your Supremus, there being the species name. So this has been explained several times, and in confirmation with the devs, that basically I'm just an idiot. And that's okay. I can accept that. I can accept my faults and not understanding what certain situations are in certain structurings in that regard. So I gave my feedback, and they were like, to be completely honest, you're one of like the only people that's complained about this, and it's basically because I have a lack of knowledge on it. So that's been resolved in terms of, well, yeah, in terms of that issue, which is great. It's awesome. Got us up to 3.5 stars. We're okay. Now, what that means in the future is that I can only have one species per exhibit. And that is a little bit unfortunate. I understand the devs' reasonings 100%. It's no longer an issue on that end. It does mean I have to think a little more strategically. So, for instance, Psittacosaurus, you are completely in here. I'll never have you anywhere else. Coelophysis, I'll never have you anywhere else. I do even believe my Scelidosaurus, I'm going to say Scelidosaurus, and it's going to be wrong, isn't it? Yeah, a Scelidosaurus, a Scelidosaurus, whatever it is. They are all in there. So I am limited to those guys, for instance, being over here instead, which isn't a problem. But again, it's just I used up the dinos a little too quickly, I guess you could say. Now, one of the benefits here is that our Camarasaurus, and this is something we're going to address today in a way to prepare for the future, I will say this, is that our Camarasaurus, thankfully, have 3 different species, which is awesome. Now, right now, all 3 of them can handle a desert, a scrubland, and a coastal, so that means that essentially I can use them 3 different times in 3 different biomes, which is what the goal will be going forward. I'm going to figure out which Camarasaurus I want in my forest. I'd probably be Supremus, assuming I even have some Supremus in here. I think I do. But then once we build a desert... what you looking at? There's something wrong with his neck. I don't think it straightens out. Okay, there it goes. I just noticed that he was like bent over backwards. But essentially, we will be able to spread our species out across the park. And that's what we are going to do. Not today, but in the future. So that essentially means, in specifics regards to our dinosaurs, for instance, our Camarasaurus, we will have one of those creatures per. And it just means that I have to be a little more creative in how I spread our guys out. It's not a huge deal. It's not a huge deal at all. And in fact, I think I'll be able to adjust that enough. I don't think we're anywhere near the end of the park. We haven't gotten to, not a coastal, but like other biomes. We still have other biomes to address. So I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. We just we'll just have to adjust, which I'm totally okay adjusting. And as we approach the evening, we finally get to what's the whole point of this entire episode. We are going, let's see, did I even do it? Oh, I don't know if I did it. I didn't. Okay. We are going to build a Velociraptor exhibit. Now, these Velociraptors are really interesting. I took a look at them earlier, and I thought I'd purchase them and save the game. Apparently, I hadn't. But we are going to take a look at our Velociraptors. So these guys are just, they're little boys. They're little dudes, for sure. Little boys and girls. And they are good in desert and scrubland. Now, if I had to be completely honest, in terms of our scrubland creatures, we have a lot to choose from. And this is where it gets a little bit concerning in that, for instance, all of these guys, they're already in the desert. Scrubland may be a little loose. We may not do a scrubland exhibit. If we do a scrubland exhibit, we would have to basically transform this part of the park, all of this over here and maybe over here, into scrubland, which we totally could. I feel like that's a viable solution. And let me know if that's like something you would like to see, where scrubland's just kind of the first thing. We would redo all of this stuff to include scrubland only. This would kind of be more of a scrubland looking place. We'd kind of have to revamp everything, but that's fine. I don't have an issue with it. It's just whether or not we think that would be beneficial. But we just have to adjust, and that's okay. So today we are going to build a Velociraptor exhibit, and I already know of a place. So this is part of a larger expansion idea that I brainstormed earlier in the week, for sure, probably after the last episode. And this Corazon, look at her. She is gorgeous. She is beautiful. Absolutely. She has a large or a very limited crowding effect, which means it doesn't take a lot to overwhelm her. Now, that being said, we can't even have two of our Torvosauruses in here in an exhibit that's 6,000 meters squared. So what we are going to do today, we are going to kind of revamp our exhibit enclosure here. She will get a crowding issue that we'll fix in a different episode. But we are going to have, oh goodness, I hate it when the game saves and glitches. We are going to have a massive desert biome enclosure over here that's going to surround the rest of our oasis that honestly might rival the size of enclosure 4. I don't know. We'll see. That's a pretty daggum big enclosure. But regardless, we're going to have a bridge here. This whole space will become a a desert experience. And this is where we are going to, in the future, we're not doing it today. I don't have the time today, unfortunately. But we are going to do basically everything else in the desert that can fit in here that we haven't used already. So for instance, our Torvosaurus, hopefully we'll be able to get the tannery. Yeah. We'll be able to get these guys in there. We can reuse this Torvo in a different one. We could probably send some Coelophysis in. Probably not. I don't know. We'll have to see how all that works. Honestly, it'd be really adorable to see some Velociraptors in with these giant dinos. But for instance, our Camarasaurus can totally fit. We're going to put our Grandis into the desert biome because it blends in so well and looks so daggum good. And then maybe we relocate our, Dilophosaurus or something. A really massive enclosure here, because I really just want to make it impressive, but I don't want it to feel too terribly empty as well. So maybe we have a lot of our desert Camarasauruses or something to that effect. But basically today's objective, we may even completely redo this depending on the needs of our Velociraptors. And then we're going to work on other aspects of the park to kind of wrap things up. A little bit of a shorter episode. It's not an issue. Sometimes I like having shorter episodes. That way it gives me a little bit of time to revamp and do all of those things. So we're going to go into our nursery and we're going to look at our Velociraptors. There we are. So we have a Dust Devil, we have our Oasis, and we have our Mirage. All of these are Mongoliensis, and all of them are absolutely gorgeous. So what we're going to do, we're going to have 3 males, one of each kind. And then, let's see, do we want 3 of each? That should be good. We're going to get 3 females each for this first set. That's 12 out of 15. We're going to get another 3 there. we're going to make an enclosure that has 30 velociraptors in it. I want to see if it'll work. I want to see if they have issues with it. Whether or not this happens in real life, I have absolutely no idea, or real life, back in the day. Whether that was true or not, whether they hunted in packs or whatever they did, I still feel like this is a really cool opportunity to kind of cram a whole bunch into a space where their exhibit crowding is massive and just have some fun with it. So what we're going to do, I'm going to let this roll. We're going to make it go faster, and I'll see you guys in just a split second once all 15 of these are done. Actually, yeah, once all 15 of these are done, and we'll see as the other 15 start rolling in. Oh my word, there's so many of them. There are so many of them, and they're bouncing around, they're hopping around. This is fantastic. I love it. Oh, and check out the animations from them drinking. A little bit of clipping, that's okay. You trying to catch a raindrop? I think they're looking for like insects and stuff. But look at that. Now, admittedly, it's nighttime, so it's not exactly the best time of the day to be looking at them. But 30 of them, and undoubtedly, Corazon is like, what the crap is going on here? They're everywhere. They're swimming. They're... Oh, my word. I love it. Look at all of them swimming around. Oh, we got to take care of some enclosures real quick, but that's fantastic. Now, what we really need to do then is we need to be able to see what's going on with them. Well, maybe we don't. It looks like they are perfectly fine.
Blink and you'll miss it. Here comes the speedy thief, Velociraptor. Many visitors are surprised when they first spot these handsome little devils. They arrive expecting a big, boxy, featherless raptor like in the movies, and are always shocked to see how small, slender, and feathery these dinosaurs really are.
Thank you, Nigel. Appreciate that. Yeah, they look fantastic, and they are all over the place. And from the looks of it, everything is satisfied for them. I mean, yeah, they'll go after... Oh, my word, they are trying to catch insects. That is incredible. I love it. And Corazon... Yeah, I figured you'd have a crowding effect, and that's okay. That's okay, because this isn't going to be your exhibit for much longer anyways, and you're going to have some fun with it. Now, I don't think a big, huge hill is necessary. Yeah, she's upset. She's like, what is this crap? We're at the top of our forest as well. Okay, that's actually kind of adorable. We're going to set up a quick little screenshot here. I'll be right back. Alright, well, one thing I will say is that the camera features in this game are fantastic. But it's just kind of adorable that Corazon is just like, hey, let's just chill here and have animals clip through me. But she seems okay. She seems a little discontent. But overall, not too shabby. And honestly, we don't have to do anything else to this exhibit. We may add some, you know what? We could add a couple of rocks and things so they could climb on them. Have some fun in that area. But outside of that, they're really just in a really good spot. We could definitely go ahead and add some features that would make this just a little more of a fun little rock formation area for them to climb on. And hopefully they would climb on it. I would think they would. If given the opportunity, I kind of feel like these bird-like creatures would just do whatever they wanted to. And I am going to purposefully build this in a way that I think they could climb up it. There we go. Now maybe they'll have some fun and be climbing up there and chilling out. But I love it. I love it a whole lot. And let's look at our score. Also, why are these two different things? We need to switch that out real quick. I wonder if that's kind of a bug thing. Let's replace these fences. There we go. I like that a lot better anyways. Hopefully they don't get out. It's all a good deal. What is our... Oh my word. Our animal rating is 25,000. Well, 24 and a half. Oh my word, that's massive. So they do enjoy quite a bit from the animal rating overall, which is perfect. Great. That's a fantastic addition. Look at all of them swimming. Oh, I just can't get over this. This is so cool. All right, so Corazon, don't worry, little lady. You know what? In fact, little lady, big lady, let's move you over here. Oh, look at that. She loves it here. There we go. Well, we'll still consider moving her to a different enclosure, but this gives her a lot more space and removes that issue. Not only that, we're pushing close to 4 stars. Now, we do need just a little bit of a bump, and I don't know what that would entail, to be honest with you. Do we need to add another dinosaur to the mix? Will Corazon benefit from having yet another? You know what? I kind of think she might. I kind of think that she would benefit. And it also makes me wonder if this, if the Psittacosaurus and the Protoceratops and all of those, if we would get really big buffs from having a lot of them. We're going to experiment with this because our crowding here is nowhere near an issue. I don't feel like any of these creatures, especially the little ones, are going to suffer from that. The only one that's going to suffer is probably Corazon, and I think she will still be okay. So we're going to try it. Why not? We're going to get a whole bunch of creatures in here and see if we can't fill this up and have it look a lot better. Because again, I can have all of these Psittacosaurus in here, right? Because I do have Psittacosaurus in here. There's our Protoceratops. Do we have Psittacosaurus? We do. Perfect. And there's a little dung beetle as well. Roll that dung, boy. All right. Once again, I'll be right back once we release just a ton of animals in here and we make this just a huge exhibit and enclosure on both sides. All right. So that is a deal. We've almost doubled the score of this enclosure. Corazon is still just right at the edge of being crowded. Okay, that's fantastic to know. That's awesome to think about. And a good way that we can boost these things up. Now, one of the interesting things here, exhibit score, we have an issue with how everything is run here. And I honestly don't know what it is. I don't know if there's some creatures that are simply not happy. Oh, we have Maja. Excuse me, little lady. There you go. We go there. So I don't know if there are, there's a little bit of discontent here. It doesn't look like it. So I really don't know what the issue is on this side, but that's okay. We'll get that figured out one way or another. We're so close to 4 stars. And I just don't know what else I could do about it. Now that's fine. That's not a big issue. One of the things you will also have noticed is we're going to flesh this out just a little bit more. But I do have an observation thing over here because I didn't think that people would really be able to see at the top of the hill, as it were. So we could definitely see that now. That's awesome. We have a nice little bathroom space. People are already using it. Hopefully they don't see an issue with seeing that windmill there. Personally can't see that being an issue at all. And then we can pave our way around the rest of the oasis space if we wanted to, if we so desired. We're not going to do that today, though, because we need to build our bridge space. Now, I am going to wait until it is daytime to show this off, because I do think that that is a very good idea overall, is to wait until it's daytime, because you the player, or you the viewer, can see so much more on top of a lot of other stuff. So we are going to go and wait until that time. Lots of waiting today, but sometimes you just have those types of episodes and it's okay, because you know what, you don't have to wait at all. It's myself that does all the waiting for you. So you're welcome, but also we'll be right back. All right, it's the dawn of a new day. What is this doing here? Oh, you goofy little thing. Okay, cool. Awesome. Now, I already have a few plans in mind for what we are going to put here, because we do need a bridge way into a different part of the park, which will encompass part of the desert biome. Because again, we're going to do it like a big, huge, grande enclosure exhibit entrance thing over there, which will be absolutely fantastic. But I do have something that I think will fit great here. I just have to find it. And find it I did. This is the natural aviary. Now, I did have an aviary over here that you'll see is no longer there. I think it got too crowded and I couldn't figure out how to make the birds not unhappy. So that is what it is. Now, for this one, this isn't a huge space for a bridge, but I already have a plan in mind for it. Look at that. That's actually pretty cool. I got a plan. So we're going to open up inside of here. And we are going to blow it up. Now, hopefully that doesn't make the actual birds inside bigger. Although, it would be absolutely hilarious if that were the case. And so what we're going to do, we kind of want to make sure this is lined up. I don't want to drop it straight into the ground, but I think that's okay. Real question is, does it all fit? It does. I don't actually like that. I wanted it to be kind of a little bit up off of the ground. So what we're going to do, we're going to build it up like that. That's not going to stay there. But we're going to excavate some of this this land underneath. Maybe make it a little bit deeper. Maybe make the whole creek area. Uh-oh. Oh, wait a second. No. It's saying that we're at -1 star, but we're actually not. We're actually at 4 stars. And we'll see what the results of that are in just a minute. But until then, continue to snake our way through here. There we go. I like the deeper, darker watercolor as well. That's very, very nice. And this can continue over this way. Yeah, we'll make all of this work. But I mean, we already have a big expanse here that was already looking very, very deep. And then we can totally. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. we have some things to do there. That's okay. That was terrifying. I was like, ah. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Awesome. Okay. Just want to make it a little more natural than it is right now. But regardless, we did all of that just so we could go right like this. Barely set it inside. And there we go. That's what I wanted. So outside of going underwater, I guess you can't see that, which is okay. That's also okay. I'm okay with this setup for now because no one's going to be looking under there. So we're good. But what I wanted to do here is I wanted to make sure that we had structures. We had nice, firm columns because that is crucial to have. I mean, a degree of realism. People have fun with it. And we're going to pop that on down all the way into the floor. Boom. Nice. So now when you walk in, I do think the birds are going to be a little bit larger than life. Maybe they won't be. But now we have a nice aviary. Again, the doors don't work in this game, so there's no use in bringing that in. Let's actually have this be a little bit lower. Oh no, that's a shadow. I'm just a goofball. Nope, that's fine. But now you can walk in through here. You can go around a little bit larger than life. And you can come out the other end where there will be a pathway that'll eventually lead you into all the spaces you need to go into. Now, I hate awkward setups here, so we're going to take that out. There we go. Whoa. That's a little awkward, but at least it's not as awkward as it could be, which is fine. We can do stuff there to make that look not so scary and not so ridiculous. And then I don't know what we're going to do here. I really don't. If there's another scrubland creature that we could do, or maybe like another little walk-through bench sitting area, that would be fine as well. But now we have at least an access across the river officially into all the stuff that we need to do, which will eventually lead to our desert biome. Our scrubland's going to go ahead and be in the back. I think I've already decided that. But then we get to do potentially a new biome over in this area of the park, which I am very, very excited about overall. Let's go ahead and take a look at the park as a whole. We are at 4 stars, I do believe, which means that I should have everything else unlocked. I do. Awesome. By the way, Parasaurolophus is my favorite creature simply because of the name. I absolutely love the name Parasaurolophus. The only thing that the developers could do if they're watching this to make it any better would be to add a Pachycephalosaurus, because the Pachycephalosaurus is amazing. But we have unlocked everything now. Our Brachiosaurus, which are a huge expense, by the way. We have the rest of our T-Rexes. We have our Triceratops. And we have so much more. I think we have the Argentinosaurus. Oh, no. Oh, that costs $1.1 million. I can't even afford the Argentinosaurus. But that also unlocks the new Spinosaurus, which just came out, which also is apparently only coming in the Egyptiacus. So we may have to figure out how to make a big giant exhibit for those guys, because that'll be a little bit of an issue overall. We have our that's a Carcharodontosaurus, which is fantastic. Our Iguanodons. I love Iguanodons. A whole bunch. What else do we have? We have the Mammutus, which is going to be in our snow biome, which is something we will hit eventually. Ooh. A Caranosaurus? Looks like a Parasaurolophus, if I'm being completely honest. Or no, no, it's not an Iguanodon. I am thinking of Parasaurolophus, aren't I? Yeah. We also have our Lambeosaurus, which we'll definitely try and get into. The park hitting Star 4 is absolutely massive, and I think it'll do wonders for the park as a whole. But guys, I mentioned this was going to be a very short episode, and it is going to be a very short episode, because these are the only two things that I wanted to get done. I wanted to create a very, very cool, and obviously very, very score heavy exhibit with our Velociraptors. We moved our Torvosaurus, excuse me, over to there. Everything's looking great across the board for those dinos. What do we got going on here? I don't think there's any issues. I think it just needs clean, which that seems to be an issue as well. Oh, look at that. Oh, you're up at the top. You look so good. So good. And then we added our actual first crossing over into here. Oh, I see. I see. We have all of these different options. Oh, no. Oh, no. Why did they give me options? Oh, goodness. There we go. That's what we need. Oh, that's terrifying. That's terrifying to have so many options, but I love it at the same time. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be done with today's episode. So I do appreciate you hanging out with me today. Leave any comments or concerns or anything of that nature. And if you want to support the channel, there are multiple ways to do that as well. Starting with simply giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel. We're going to try and get our whole park in here. There we go. But yeah, subscribing, liking the comments, or liking the video itself, leaving any comments, super duper helpful. But if you want to explore further ways to support this channel, you can totally support by becoming a YouTube member, at which point you'll get something inside of this park that I think would be really cool, as long as it's reasonable. Totally up for anything. Outside of that, guys, thank you so much again for hanging out with me. The park is great. It's doing awesome. I'm so happy for it. But I'll see you in the next one.
These are nature's greatest creations. This is your park. This is Prehistoric Kingdom.